First of all, Cahirlach, I second the motion of my colleague Sandra Mullen. And the other thing I want to say is, Minister, every time I see you, I feel apologetic, because every time I see you, I know I'm going to attack you, and I'm so sorry. But you are the face of your department, and I know you won't personalise it, but here I go, basically. I'm just wondering, what does it take for the government to listen to the people of Ireland when it comes to the mental health services? And if we look back over the last maybe 18 months to 2 years, we've done some really positive things. I'm not talking about your department, I'm talking about outsiders, senators, deputies, who've singly done things to try to improve the mental health services. And I know you are trying very, very hard too. But let's just recap what has been achieved. We had our very first public consultation day, in fact 2 days, the very first in the history of the state on mental health. And it was a wonderful opportunity to bring people who use the service and who provide the service and the policy makers to let the people of Ireland know what truly is happening. We then formed a joint Oireachtas committee on the future of mental health, which again was incredible and the first time in the history of the state, because it allowed us to hold accountable the HSE. And that, more than anything, was the most perfect part of that committee. The other good thing was legislation was passed through the Seanad, trying to end the placing of children in adult psychiatric units. It hasn't gone through the door, but at least it's gone through the Seanad. We've had marches outside Leinster House, we've had marches in Wexford, marches all around the place, which is just showing that people are not satisfied with what's going on in our country. We've had organisations like the Mental Health Commission who suddenly have a change of attitude insofar as they're saying it's not acceptable anymore. They would give these reports where there were problems with mental health services, but they wouldn't do anything else other than mouth it. Now they're complaining vocally, and they're bringing it to the attention of the media. And of course, we have organisations like Mental Health Reform who have written report after report about the gaps, the needs, and the limitations of our services. And insofar as even yesterday, we had in the AV room, we had the announcement of the Our Voice Matters, which was a really good report. Again, listening to the voice of the people of Ireland. And I suppose the last one was, the last really positive thing, I had a formal meeting with the Taoiseach, and it lasted an hour, and I couldn't believe it. Now, this is about a year ago. And I brought two things to his attention. One was to make the future of mental health, the Joint Oireachtas Committee, a permanent committee, and he agreed. He absolutely agreed. And the second thing was, which is not really an underhanded thing to say, and I hope nobody finds it underhanded, but I asked him, could CAMHS be removed from the HSE and put under the remit and the care of the Department of Children and Youth Affairs? I don't get it, why children are lumped in with adults, especially when it comes to mental health. They need their own. They need to be minded because they're desperately neglected. So basically, how has the government responded? Well, you formed a committee to review a vision for change, which was created 13 years ago. You then formed another committee to review the review of the vision for change. And I believe that, is this the third review? Or, anyway, a lovely, lovely example of kicking the can down the road. The other thing is that there's one of the things that you've been doing, Minister, which I can see the advantage of it, is that you've been updating the members here of the Oireachtas. I think you've had 2 information days in the AV room. And while it was really good and really interesting and very professional, you're not telling us anything new, but you're forgetting that the basic things need to be done. Forget the new stuff, the digital stuff. Let's look at just the basic stuff, such as, waiting lists, children being turned away because they're probably in the wrong queue. Let's look at other children again being placed into adult psychiatric units. But the other thing is, and again, Minister, I hope you will be able to answer this. A few weeks ago, there was an announcement from a member here in Fianna Fáil who said that indeed there is going to be a permanent committee for mental health. And it was followed up by your statement in the paper that yes, there was going to be a permanent committee for mental health. And then when I formally asked you through email, is there going to be one? Because after all, I was the chairperson. I think the chairperson should know, and the chairperson should pass it on to the committee members. I was told that you don't know, basically, that you're still investigating it. That upsets me deeply, because what it's saying is that really and truly there is no need for a mental health committee, because we're highlighting and putting a spotlight on too many problems here. I'm asking you, as your role as Minister for Mental Health, please make sure that there's, I don't care who's the chair, by the way, but please make sure that there is a permanent committee. And the thing is, I have nothing to lose. The chances are I am never going to be called back here. So I'm talking on behalf of the people of Ireland. So just to finalise, you know, your government isn't in good health at the moment. You're in lots of trouble. There's been lots of bad publicity. But one thing can make this turn around, and that is if you look after the mental health of our country, and that for once this government stops losing the appetite for mental health and puts it first on the agenda. Thank you.